Hey everybody, welcome to Sound Judgement, a show that debates the merits of one song over another to come out with the true result of what song is the best song. So, today, we'll get to that in a minute. My name is Sam Tonning. I'm one half of Sound Judgement. I'm a comedian. That's it. And I'm paired with Harris Anderson. Comedian. Musician. 604 Records recording artist. Television superstar.
That's not true.
Actor.
Sort of, yeah.
Musical theater fan.
I did it. I don't know. I'm not a fan anymore, really.
Tall man.
Yeah. But, Sam, you're not giving yourself credit because you were... Sam will never admit this, but he's actually a very fine musician, a bassist of exceptional talent. Very fine musician, very knowledgeable.
You're correct. I'll never admit that.
No, fair enough. Welcome to Sound Judgment. As my esteemed colleague Sam said, we are going to be discussing two songs and debating the merits of both. To do so, we have a moderator, a judge, who will be helping us make a final judgment. He will be making the final judgment. He will be helping us. But our guest and judge today is...
It's Mr. Ryan Schaap. Ryan, how you doing?
I'm very delighted. I'm a big Nickelback fan, so this room really
yeah, we're
speaks
here
to
at
me.
604 Records Studio and in the podcast room, which is surrounded by Nickelback and Dallas Smith, Gold Records, and... all this great memorabilia, and it's like a temple to Canadian entertainment.
Well, I am a proud Abbotsford native, which is where Chad laid roots, and he built a giant house, and then they sold even more records, so he basically built a giant house beside it, and then connected it.
That's
great. I remember where it was, and you could drive by it, but then there'd be a bunch of hot shots in town that'd be like, man, we egged Chad Kruger's house. I'm like, you can't. It's so gigantic and far away. You're not egging anything, and you're not Nicky Nine doing it.
Yeah.
So I knew that these guys talking shit down in Abbotsford, full of it.
So okay, Ryan. Not only do you know where Chad Kruger lives, you also have a podcast, Pucks on Net. Tell us about it.
We produce a hockey podcast here in Vancouver. Hockey fans are generally pretty insufferable and terrible.
Correct.
So we try to have a little more fun with it, a little lighter side, a little more jovial, less obsessive, less cargo shorts with jersey combo look.
You are from Abbotsford.
Yeah. And so you can go to pucksnet.ca for all your nonsense.
I like it. That's great.
Yeah.
Well, here's the layout of the show, how it's going to work. Harris and I have each been randomly assigned a song, and we have to argue in its favor and against the opponent. There are 4 rounds. The first round is where we do our introduction and our opening arguments on our song. And next, we'll be cross-examining each other. Ryan, after that, you'll be asking us questions.
Certainly.
And at the end, we present our simple closing arguments, and then you render judgment after telling us what you thought.
Well, I think we can make this show the shortest one because all my opinions, all my judgments are based on who's taller.
Oh, fuck.
So let's cut this one up. Let's put it in the can.
Let's go for lunch.
Let's get some lunch. Because, Sam, you're fucked.
Yeah, I am. Oh, man.
But just for the sake of, I don't know, we do have the space, Ryan.
Yeah, can we go through the motions?
Should we do it anyway?
We booked the space. All right, I'm going to go against my sound judgment.
All right.
I'm not happy with this, but I'm going to, all right.
I'm happy you sound exchanged your judgment.
Sam, why don't you tell us which songs we're debating today?
Well, it's been assigned. I, Sam Tonning, am arguing for I.F.L.Y. by Bazzi, and I am up against you, Harris Anderson, who is...
Wanda Jackson's version of Shakin All Over.
All right, tell us about the song.
Okay, so I made a mistake. That's always a good way to start. I did choose this song for the list, but it was randomly assigned to me, so I wouldn't necessarily be defending it. But I actually thought this was by Wanda Jackson. People who don't know who Wanda Jackson is, she's often referred to as the queen of rockabilly. She's been around for ages, since the 50s. She's kind of like a female rock legend. And this is her cover of a song that was originally done by Johnny Kidd and the Pirates. It's a fairly famous rock and roll song. It's been recorded by bands like The Who and the Guess Who. And
all the Who bands.
Yeah, all the Who based bands. So I mistakenly thought she wrote and performed it, but she didn't. This is actually the song that we're going to hear is her version of it from her 2011 album, The Party Ain't Over, which was produced by Jack White, actually. Jack White is a big fan of hers. And that's actually where I first became aware of her doing it, was she appeared on Letterman and did the song with Jack White and a full orchestra, and I thought, oh, it's actually a really cool song. I liked it. Yeah. So that's
wow. Yeah, there's actually a lot to say about that song. Whereas mine, I.F.L.Y, which stands for I Fucking Love You, by Bazzi, released in 2019 to widespread critical acclaim. Oof. Yeah, and, he's like 22 years old, so he has a long history of musical accomplishment. Fuck. Let's listen to the songs. All right, yeah, so we just listened to Shakin' All Over by Wanda Jackson off the album The Party Ain't Over, followed by I.F.L.Y by Bazzi and his album Soul Searching. Ryan, you were the judge and moderator.
Yes.
Why don't you get us started?
What does that entail?
Said who goes first.
Well, for those that didn't listen on the cutting room floor, Sam has backed himself into a corner based on his outlandish comments, his song choice, and his bad back. He won't be able to punch his way out of the corner again. So, you know what? You can go first.
Okay.
Because if there's anything I know about you, you can talk yourself out of a jam.
Okay.
And yeah, I've seen him do it.
You know that Simpsons episode where they're digging to find and it's like, we'll dig our way out.
Yeah.
This is the audio equivalent of Sam digging his way out of this. How long we got here?
You said the time. I got up to 5 minutes.
All right, 3, 2, 1, go.
I.F.L.Y. Well, let's get this out of the way. I.F.L.Y. stands for I Fucking Love You, which is about as pure an expression of human emotion as possible. Let's be honest, right? And I think this is clearly expressed through the lyrics. And we're going to touch on some key ones right here. I'm touching you slowly. Love how you hold me. I was a player, and that was the old me. This is a changed man, and to be youth and changing. Oh, it's amazing. I must be lonely. I think that speaks to all of us at some point in our lives, right? I must be lonely, and just truly heart-wrenching. And a little interpretation here, he's talking about being in love with an intelligent 20-year-old and not some irrelevant bitch. And he fucking loves her, you know what I mean? It's crazy. When I was 20, I was in love with a cold-hearted woman named Lager, not some beautiful, smart woman named Alicia.
Sorry, did you say lager?
Yeah, I was drinking a lot of beer.
Oh.
Yeah.
I'm so dumb. I'm sorry. I'm interrupting. I thought she was actually a
from
woman
the island,
named Lager.
Yeah, it's lucky. Okay, let's get this out of the way. His name's Bazzi.
The lager that you were in love with?
Whoa. Is the judge interrupting me?
I'm sorry. I got the ball. I started.
That's okay.
That's a bad precedent, I said.
Yeah,
Sorry,
it is. Well, I'm going to interrupt you now on
Yes, I
yours.
know. I'm
Yeah.
Going into injury time here.
Okay, his name is Bazzi. I don't know. It's clearly he's Italian. If you look at a picture of him, he looks like a Roman senator. He's amazing. His hair is perfect. He wears a puka shell necklace for some reason. And this song came out in 2019. Oh, God. He's got a unique voice. It's part mumble, part alto, all English, but he's from Michigan. And I don't know about you, but I appreciate versatility in an artist. Okay, very cinematic work. This is music you want on in the background where you stare in the eyes of your partner, pondering your future together, and how you've got it all sorted out so early in your life. You're in your 20s, and you've got it all figured out, no matter what your parents tell you. You know what I mean? All right, I'm going to close out talking about I.F.L.Y. with this simple statement of fact. I don't want to speak with too much hyperbole, but I think I.F.L.Y. would sit well amongst the very best of the Beatles. It's relatable to young people. It's very optimistic for the future. It's a simple and accessible tune, and most importantly, runs under 3 minutes long. Now, let's contrast, like all the big Beatles hits. Harris, don't have this confused look on your fucking face. God damn it. But really, why are we here to talk about a shitty Jack White tune? Shakin' All Over. I'll be honest, this song has me shaking all over with how shitty it is. It was made 2011. Now, I thought we got past these whole throwback styles, right? But Jack White, whose very insistence on using a piece of shit guitar from the 60s is evident in his guitar playing on this song, produced the record. He must have had a vision and a dream of a washed-up B-rate singer turning out a new version of a song she didn't even write. Wanda Jackson's voice. This is probably the worst part. It sounds like a fucking Neil Young guitar solo. It's so bad. But all throughout the song, I'm reminded of two things. The White Stripes suck. And Johnny Kidd, the original songwriter and leader of Johnny Kidd and the Pirates, looked about 50 when he wrote the fucking song and wore a goddamn eye patch. He wore an eye patch, Harris. You mistook Wanda Jackson for a man who wears an eye patch. If that's not a mark against this song, I don't know what is. Also, what the fuck is a knee bone, a backbone, and a thigh bone? Learn some fucking anatomy. In closing, Bazzi's I.F.L.Y. is not only a truer expression of human emotion, a more relatable song to youth and adults alike, but also sounds good. Wanda Jackson's version of Shakin' All Over sounds like shit. Therefore, I.F.L.Y. is a better song. I'm done.
Are you sure? Yeah. I mean, you were pissing and moaning about us interrupting you, and now you still have minutes left.
I have a minute left?
We're not even at 4 minutes.
Well, no, to be fair, Ryan, I did interrupt him, and I started the ball rolling, and I apologize to Sam for that.
Don't apologize.
Well,
He's a grade A asshole.
Okay, fine. Jesus Christ, I'm putting my hood up.
all right. Thank you, Ryan.
Whenever you're ready.
Thank you, sir. Thank you very much.
Biased judge. Biased judge.
Because he knows you? Shakin' All Over by Wanda Jackson. As I mentioned, I chose this song, and in doing so, as I mentioned before, I made a mistake. I thought Wanda Jackson was the original artist of Shakin' All Over, which of course is not so. She's been around a while, she's part of musical history, and I didn't do my research, so my bad. But happily, I truly think this is a kick-ass tune, and my favorite version of this song. I think it is a statement on how Wanda Jackson owns the song, that I assumed she was the original artist, and she sounds like she's having a great time performing it. The opening horns have a marvelous, old-timey, welcome to the show quality that lets you know you're in for a good time. Before the riff hits, you're geared up. And then the riff hits, which in my humble opinion is one of the immortal rock riffs. All credit to Mr. Kidd, eye patch et al. It's a jagged, tasty riff repeated over and over, and I can't get enough of it. Can we bring back guitar riffs, please? Can we do that? Now, Wanda Jackson is no spring chicken. Sam thinks old people should be placed on ice floes to die. I disagree with that. I think her voice fits the song perfectly. This is a lady who's been everywhere and done it all, and she can still summon the energy to belt out a rocker like this. It would have been easy to mail in a version of this song, but no one involved did. The horns punch like a prize fighter. The guitarl. Good lord. Oh, man. The guitar snarls like a stray dog, and the band hurtles onward with Miss Jackson as its proud queen. There's all kind of cool touches. The vibrato effect on her voice, the ghostly background. I'm discrediting my own argument because I
don't
can't
even need
speak.
to interrupt you for this.
Yeah, I'm interrupting myself. The ghostly background woos around a minute in. It is glorious rock and roll. This song is the perfect marriage of a timeless rock classic and a musical legend. It's a match made in heaven, and in heaven, no one gets called a bitch. Thank you.
Ooh, wow.
That's beautiful.
What? That's beautiful?
Well, it's 2019, and it's not. We shouldn't be using gender-based insults, and you've been dropping the B's as insults all day, Mr. Tommy.
Are you serious? Bazzi isn't a swear word.
He said bitch.
No, he says the B word.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What are you gonna say next? The P word or the X word?
What's the X word?
Well, yeah, act like you don't know.
What, clitoris? No, sorry. That's something I don't know either.
It's up there somewhere.
All right, Harris, that makes sense.
Yeah, Ryan, at this point, traditionally, you would allow cross-examination.
I like how there is a tradition already.
Or I thought we weren't pretending this wasn't one of the very first
No,
ones.
but I'll cut that out. That's just funny that we like to use the word traditionally. We might keep that in, actually. Because, it's a long-standing legal tradition of song debate.
Yeah.
All right, yeah, you set us up for cross-examination and choose who asks first.
Well, once again, like I set up for the debates, you boxed yourself into like 7 different corners. You're in a hole. So, you keep putting your foot in your mouth, but I would like you to go second. Then, Harris.
Oh, Harris, you're up first.
So Harris,
okay.
I would like you because I think you need a rebound because I'm on your team here, pal.
I didn't bring the fire.
You brought jack shit. So I need you to.
That's Jack White's other name.
Listen, pal. Did you pick me? Did you pick me to be on this episode because of you know of my stand-up?
No, I thought you were gonna do the Kendrick Lamar one.
Because like this is
You mixed up.
Yeah.
You mixed up. Okay.
like I give Jack White and Third Man Records a lot of money every year.
Yeah.
So
Well, I give Nickelback and 604 Records lots of money every year.
well, yeah. What you're bringing to the table, you got to be paying them good money.
So
Whenever
Sam,
you're ready.
Yeah, Sam. This song. This sounds like a text conversation between a skateboarder and his girlfriend. Do you remember that kid that his girlfriend like talked him into committing suicide a couple years back?
Yes.
This is kind of what it sounds like. A
Wow.
transcript of that.
Okay.
Set to like a faux Latin guitar riff.
Objection, because you're supposed to be asking me questions.
Okay, well, I just wanted to comment first. So, see, Sam, this is I don't know how you can defend this song because I know you're a sensitive man. You're a gentleman.
Mm-hmm. Thank you.
If you want to impress a lady, do you talk about air quote other bitches? Air
No,
quote?
I dismiss other bitches. I talk about how intelligent she is and beautiful she is and how all I want to do is lie down beside her.
How intelligent your bitch is.
Yes. Well, she's not a bitch.
Not anymore. You're welcome.
Exactly. Alicia is pretty great. And I'm in love with her. I fucking love her. Yeah, of course.
Okay. Did he wrote the lyrics to this song?
Absolutely. He's the songwriter.
What color crayon did he use?
I'm assuming he used rose.
Rose.
Yeah,
Okay.
because his view on the world is very rose-tinted.
See, yeah, I know this is hard for you because I know this is your favorite genre of music, and I will say you're playing devil's advocate fairly well.
Actually, upon reflection, I've listened to this song probably about 100 times, and it really speaks to me.
100 times.
Yeah, it makes me feel like I'm an optimistic youth again, and that's pretty cool.
Who do you think this song appeals to, besides people who think tuxedo T-shirts classify as formal wear?
Don't talk about our judge that way. I think this speaks to anyone with an interest in the matters of the heart. And that can be young people, middle-aged people, all the way to grandparents. It's truly timeless.
I don't buy the authenticity of the authenticity of where the guy's coming from. He says, I'm a changed man.
Yeah.
He hasn't changed into a man yet. He's so young,
Oh.
I just don't buy that.
This is strange coming from you, a man who appreciates that 18-year-olds can go to war.
Hey, now.
What are you talking?
Yeah.
This guy could be a soldier, and you're not calling him a man?
Are you,
That's pretty inappropriate. He comes from Michigan, a strong, union-oriented, blue-collar state in the United States that has supplied millions of soldiers for multiple world wars, and you're calling this person not a man?
I would,
Disgusting.
Jack White also comes from Michigan.
Amazing.
yes, it's true.
He's a piece of shit. Nothing to do with him being a man or not.
I don't. How many times does he say, I guess what I'm saying in this song? I would say roughly 12, 15 times.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Yeah,
more
so
than that.
He really has to think hard about collecting himself. He's like, I guess what I'm saying. I guess what I'm saying. He's trying to think, and then I fucking love you is what he comes up with.
Yeah, Harris, it's interesting you say that as a musician with an actual label release, displaying your music, you don't know what a chorus is.
I know what a chorus is. I'm just making a joke about the fact that you expect something. I guess what I'm saying is.
Yeah? What
and
are you
then
saying, Harris?
And then he comes out with something that like a mumbly 14-year-old would probably say
Speaks to
before
me.
he runs the hose into his driver's window. That's all I have.
Okay.
Nope.
All right, so Harris...
I don't know for legal reasons if we're gonna actually be allowed to leave that in or not.
Why not? He's not killing himself. We're going to leave that part in where you're questioning the legality of this statement. Okay, Harris, you mentioned kind of disdain at his use of, I guess what I'm saying, right? You don't get it. What are you saying? Your argument is based off of how great an old woman is. That's pretty much what you just said. Is Wanda Jackson owns the song. It's the perfect marriage of a timeless rock classic and a musical legend. I'll be honest with you. Before I heard this song not 2 weeks ago, I'd never heard of Wanda Jackson, and I've been to the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame.
Can we just mention as an aside that you just watched Beetlejuice for the first time last night?
Correct.
What the hell's wrong with you?
Okay.
And why would Wanda Jackson be in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame?
Because she
You
is.
know what he said
as
about
an
you know
early
what he said
contributor.
you know what he said about Beetlejuice?
What?
He wanted more office work.
Oh, man. You said this is one of the immortal rock riffs. So you put Shakin' All Over, written by Johnny Kidd and the Pirates, right up there with Satisfaction?
Oh, it's an iconic guitar riff.
It is?
You
How
haven't
have
heard
I
it before?
never heard of this song?
Because you
Well,
have a
I
narrow...
think maybe it's been lost to the sands of time as opposed to something like Satisfaction. Everyone knows Satisfaction.
Yeah, it's
For
been
the
lost. Sorry, what? Can you just repeat? It's been lost to the what of time?
kind of lost to the sands of time.
Okay, so Harris, you just said that this song may have been lost to the sands of time,
The riff
which
may-
contradicts your earlier statement that this is one of the immortal rock riffs. Now, I don't know about you. I'm going to ask you a question. Are things that are immortal ever dead?
It's not dead. What I chose my word. I chose my words poorly.
Thank
What
you.
I
You
should
answered
have
my
said-
question. Next question. You say that this guitar snarls like a stray dog. Now, it's strange coming from an animal lover that you would appreciate a stray animal. Wouldn't you rather have one that is appropriately cared for and loved and tended to by its owners?
Those don't snarl.
Wow, you want an abused animal. Disgusting and reprehensible. I rest my cross-examination.
Well,
Ryan, it's time for you to ask us questions.
Well, just because it's
want
a stray dog doesn't mean that it's been abused. There are a lot of, last time I checked, Littlest Hobo was a stray dog.
So you appreciate homeless people?
Absolutely, especially in
Same
this
here.
neighborhood.
Yeah.
Yeah, rock
tell you,
on.
there's
I love homeless
packs
people.
of stray dogs in Russia, and they own those towns.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then a bunch of Olympians, they took them back
Are you talking about how the American election was rigged?
I don't want to talk about that.
by a bunch of stray dogs.
Yeah,
Everybody
of
knows
course.
that.
Yeah.
Stray dogs were Donald Trump's in the White House because of stray dogs.
Yeah, I've hit all I wanted to on that.
Okay. Ryan, do you wish to cross-examine one
Either
or both of us?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd like to cross-examine
no.
Sam
Yeah.
on the subject of the guitar riff.
Okay.
And you bring up about, well, if it's not Satisfaction, if it's not a household name, then it's a piece of garbage riff. Some of the most influential pieces of music are rather unknown to the untrained, uneducated ear, such as yourself.
Thank you.
If you go back to It Might Get Loud, a documentary featuring Jimmy Page, Jack White, and The Edge.
Is that the one where they sit around in a warehouse with their amps and guitars and masturbate in front of each other?
Yep.
Okay.
Okay,
yeah.
that was a DVD scene.
Yeah, that
If
was
you'll
an extra.
watch, you obviously know so much about music that you know obviously about the song The Rumble.
No.
Of course.
You don't know Link Ray's Rumble.
Limp Bizkit's Rumble?
Link Ray.
Who the fuck is Link Ray?
Who the fuck is the guy with the eye patch that wrote this shitty song that I don't know
Did you know Johnny Kidd?
Of course not.
Okay.
Point is, in that movie, Jimmy Page is in his cavernous music library with all his records, and he's done every fucking thing in the world. And then all it takes for him to get inspired, the song that made him want to become arguably the second most influential guitar player of all time,
Very
next to Jack
arguable.
White.
Yeah. Oh.
He puts on a 45 and he puts on the Rumble, and his face beams with glee like a child. And it's like there's an unknown song, relatively by an unknown guy, that fucking spawned all of that creative genius, and then everybody that came up with. It was inspired by Jimmy Page and Led Zeppelin. You roll your eyes at me. I know there's no Michael McDonald here, so you're going to get really bored. There's no yacht rock here. This is gnarly, simplistic garage rock at its core and at its roots.
1-1-8-8-7-7-5-5 1-1-8-8-7-7-5-5. That's it, right?
What about phone numbers?
Yeah, I thought that.
Do,
I
do,
thought you
do,
were
do,
listing
do,
a
do.
helpline or something.
Yeah, I mean, that's the number you're going to need to call because your ass is grass, baby, and Harris is a
So you
lawnmower,
haven't asked me any
Jack.
fucking questions.
Your whole argument on that part was that how can a guitar riff, how can any sort of argument based on that about its validity, about its impact, be based purely on how recognizable it is? This is an incredibly important and significant song in rock and roll history, and again, the amount of people that have covered it is ridiculous. But because you didn't know it, or the guy knew an eye patch, that's bullshit. And
Yeah.
Maybe I don't have a question. Maybe I'm just sick of you.
So, okay, great. Yeah, whatever.
And so, I suppose my final... another... Like, Harris, you really brought the fire in the second half. You came back and you pointed out the obvious, that song that is being defended by Mr. Totting here is a piece of garbage. It reminds me of a guy doing an impression of Justin Bieber in his early YouTube days. It reminds me of a guy doing a bad Eddie Vedder impression.
Oh, wow, it's Harris when he sings.
At when you go to like an Irish bar and there's the guy with the acoustic guitar,
Yeah.
and he's doing and he's singing Pearl Jam or singing some Irish bullshit. And he's got that. He's singing not loudly. He's not projecting, but he's pretending to. That's what that guy. I don't even know the guy's name from Michigan sounds like. Not Jack White, but the other one.
Bazzi? Well,
Yeah.
I gotta. Since you haven't asked either of us questions during this period where you ask us questions, I am gonna respond to the statement.
Okay.
You just said that Bazzi sounds like every Irish bar acoustic guitar player. right?
Absolutely.
Yeah. Well, let me tell you something. Far more relevant than some washed up fucking shitty musician.
Who?
Bazzi. No. Bazzi is way better than Wanda Jackson. That's all I gotta say. It's really hard to even listen to Shakin' All Over and not want to leave the room.
To go shake somewhere else.
Yeah, where? Oh, sorry, my backbone. Is that right? Is that where I'm going to go
Enough
shake?
about your back injuries. We'll take you to the chiropractor after this.
Fine.
I honestly don't have a lot of questions because both of you hammered home on very good points.
Okay.
And so, what is the next step on this? Because honestly, I have.
Yeah, I know you made up your mind before you even fucking showed up.
Okay.
So, but we just do closing arguments
Yeah.
then.
Okay. So I would like to hear both of your respective closing arguments. I have a closing argument or a closing comment,
Yeah,
and I
which
would
is
love
great.
to pick.
And
the
then
one.
you make the final statement.
Okay.
That in the response to the Be It Resolved that I.F.L.Y. by Bazzi is a better song than Shakin' All Over by Wanda Jackson. That is either true or false.
Yeah.
This song is better.
Who would you like to go first, Mr.
Harris, I'd like for you to go again because you really brought the heat, and I'm really proud of you, and I really think we've got this in the bag.
Thank you, sir.
Whenever you're ready.
I'm so excited. There are two opposing forces in our culture. They battle endlessly. One is the authentic, the other is the fake. Ryan, I ask you to spot the fake here. Sam has argued that Wanda Jackson is imperfect in her execution. Yes, God help me, she is. But life is imperfect. Rock and roll is imperfect. Imperfection is authentic. And this song is delivered by a lady who is nothing if not authentic. She is the real deal. Nothing about this Bazzi fellow is real. He is a man who looks like a sales clerk at H&M who makes music that sounds like it plays at H&M. Make the right call here. This song makes me shake all over. What about you, Ryan? What about you?
Ryan, I'm talking about I.F.L.Y. I fucking love you, Ryan. That's what it comes down to, you know? You hear that from somebody, I fucking love you. You feel it. You believe it. You own it. That lifts you up for the day, the week, the month, years ahead. And Harris, you're right. We are at a time and a place where there is a battle between the authentic and the fake. And I actually ask you, what is more fake than a song meant to sound 50 years old? On a guitar that's 50 years old, with modern recording technology and an old singer whose voice sucks. Bazzi is relevant. 2019, summer smash. I fucking love you. I want to hold you. I want to be with you. Is there anything more authentic than that true expression? I don't think so. I think that is true authenticity. It's not bullshitting. It's speaking from his heart. It's the simplicity in his language because that's what matters. Shaking all over. Go fuck yourself. The only reason you're shaking Wanda Jackson is your Parkinson's is acting up. But Bazzi is relevant. Bazzi matters. Let's never forget that. When we listen to this song, which will go down in history as one of the classics of American art, in 50 years, no one will have the balls to cover this because it's so raw and real that it can never be perfected upon. Whereas we're going to hear Shakin' All Over time and time again by these assholes who want to make it sound like it was the original. And you know what? They actually managed to convince one of these assholes. Harris Anderson thought Wanda Jackson's 2011 version of Shakin' All Over was the original from the early 60s. May have sounded like it, but you know what? To my ears, it sounded like shit. I fucking love you is the only choice for the better song. And if you think otherwise, you're a heartless asshole. I conclude. Done.
Fellas, both excellent points. There are a lot of inaccuracies in Mr. Tonning's comments about Jack White's equipment, his guitar, and his playing style, but that doesn't matter at this point. He merely produced and performed on it. Wanda Jackson didn't even write the song. I don't even know why I'm talking like you, but you have really had an impact on me. Now, I thought I had my mind made up. As soon as I walked in, as soon as you started running your goddamn mouth.
You're looking at me, Sam. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm looking at Sam. Harris did nothing wrong here. Harris is a golden boy.
Yeah.
But I got to say this. So yesterday there I was. I had to kill some time. I went into Hot Topic at the mall.
Oh no.
And I was in a Hot Topic, and I was looking at shirts, and I wound up buying this here Misfits shirt. And this kid had to be not even 19 years old. Working there, comes up to me. First, they accosted me.
Yeah. You
And
look like a thief.
Yeah, and they said, "Do you need any help?" And I said, "Mind your fucking business." And then secondly, I started talking about the old weathered T-shirts they had: AC/DC, Kiss, Motley Crue. Dear favorite, one of my some of those are my favorite bands. And I'm like, these are all great shirts, but I think I'm going to pick this Misfits shirt. And he's like, and they're like, I'm trying to pick my pronouns here. And they go, yeah, my dad's always bugging me. I don't know anything about music, and I don't listen to any song without guitars in it. And this is a true statement.
Yeah.
And their old man was saying that if it's not real instruments, it's not music.
Yeah.
And in my head, I'm like, well, that's fucking bullshit. And then the guy said, I'm like, well, what kind of music do you think this dad was encouraging their child to listen to? And I'm like, it's going to be Steve Miller Band. It's going to be Blue Oyster Cult. It's going to be Dire Straits. And it was Motorhead. And I'm like, that dad's pretty fucking cool.
Yeah.
But that dad was giving the age-old argument that if it doesn't have real music, it's not, or it doesn't have real instruments, it's not real music.
Yeah.
It's like the boomers in the YouTube comments that when they see an old Led Zeppelin video, it's like, well, that's music, not a goddamn computer on the stage. At this point, am I supposed to pick my clear-cut winner? Or am I...
Yeah.
Okay, good, because I'm getting there. I realized that I didn't want to be like that goddamn boomer dad of a Hot Topic employee. I don't want to be the boomer. I don't want to identify with the boomer that's leaving these comments about what real music is. And I'm on a real big kick that boomers have ruined our city and our home, our housing market, and boomers in general, they suck. So I'm on a real fuck the boomers kick. So here comes the swerve. I pick Sam.
Yes!
Whoa!
Yeah, the youth wins out, fucker.
Whoa! What a fake out!
Fuck the boomers. Fuck off, boomer.
Wow.
That is ours. That is 2019 in a nutshell.
You didn't even listen to our arguments. I love it.
Oh, no, I listened to both. Beautiful song. You're just an asshole. But fuck the boomers.
There we go, man. Wow. It's resolved. Bazzi's I.F.L.Y. is a better song than Shakin' All Over by Wanda Jackson.
I yield to my opponent.
Handshake,
well done, Sam.
handshake, shake
Well
hands
done,
with the
Sam.
judge, Ryan.
Very good.
Yeah,
Thank
very
you,
good.
Ryan.
Very good
Well,
stuff.
thanks everybody for listening to this episode of Sound Judgment, where we debated the merits of I.F.L.Y. by Bazzi against Wanda Jackson's Shakin' All Over. A clear winner was had. Decision made by our judge, Ryan Schaap, who can be heard on Pucks on Net, pucksonnet.ca, right?
That's correct.
Yeah, and the winner is Bazzi, I.F.L.Y. And you know what? For good reason. Harris Anderson, have a great day.
Yep, thanks, Sam.
Good night.